I'm finalizing the chapter 4 of the 12 weeks of Julia Cameron, The Artist's Way, and tomorrow we're meeting with the girls. And I was just reading my notes again, and then I love, taking notes, and she puts a lot of like quotes, and there was this quote from Seneca, It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, it is because we do not dare that they are difficult. I'm going to read it again just so that It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. And then what happened today is that I finally took my fucking camera and my microphones and went outside to ask the question of the month. This is an idea I've had like literally a couple of weeks ago, where I was like, oh, it would be interesting to just ask people about something, to get their opinion on something, to get their thoughts. And part of this is because my coach was like, all right, one of my parallel lives, if in another universe, in another metaverse, I would be a videographer. And I've always loved telling stories. I've always loved filming, making movies, editing, cutting, putting the music, but not just for aesthetics, but really just out of, I want to share a story. This is what happened, and apparently I'm good at doing that. And this is one of those things where I didn't give too much attention the last, 34 years of my life. And I've done it a few times, and every time I did, I was like, oh my God, this just brings so much joy into me, so much excitement, so much aliveness. And of course I had my business, so I couldn't do everything at the same time. And back then I really loved teaching and etc., blah, blah, blah. And so my coach is doing this exercise, and she says, okay, I'm going to choose for you one of your parallel lives. Because you said you wanted to be a videographer, this is what you're going to do. For the next 10 days, I want you to record, as many portraits as you can. And as soon as she said that, I was just like, yes, that's it. I know exactly what I'm going to do, where I'm going to do it, how I'm going to do it. Like my imagination again went, And then when it came to the point of doing it, I was like, I started making it difficult. I started making it difficult, so I didn't dare until today. So it took me 2 weeks, and it's not necessarily the amount of time that it took me to just do the thing, but it is just kind of like adding things up and just looking back at all the fucking excuses that I put myself so that I don't fucking do it. And I thank my coach for sort of like putting me a deadline, because I'm having my next session on Monday. Because I think if it weren't for her, I don't even know if I would have done it. I would have taken my time and I would have done again. Yeah, but maybe I can do it this way. Or maybe I would, ask this person. Or maybe I can just do it when it's sunny. We're January in Paris. I'm not sure if it's going to be sunny every fucking day. So I might have started it, I don't know. I'm exaggerating. April, May, June, whatever. But now I had this deadline Monday, and it was just like catapulting me into the fucking do the thing. But if I take you to the process of today, of actually waking up super excited and at the same time nervous, but the excitement was bigger than the nervousness. And then when it came to the point of leaving, I was like, yeah, but maybe I should just buy some thermos so I can put some coffee and tea. And then I'm going to buy some cookies so that whenever someone wants to talk, then I'll have a warm tea. And then we're going to sit down. And then, maybe people, when they have tea and cookie, just like me, they just have a tendency to talk more. And I went on and on and on. I was like, bro, it's already 1 p.m. Sun is gonna set in around 3-4 hours max. You still need to go there. We don't have time. But all of these things were already like preventing me from doing the thing. And then came the whole, okay, so how do I dress up? Because then I want people to think this, but maybe if I do this, it's going to be too much. And maybe if I do that, then they're going to think that je pète plus haut que mon cul. Maybe they're going to think that I'm too egoistic, or maybe but blah, 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 blah. And this just delayed me into leaving the house. And eventually, of course, I did it, and I absolutely loved the experience. Like, I just stayed 1 hour because it was so freaking cold, and I wanted to pee, and I didn't have my gloves, and I also forgot the holding thingy of my camera. So at some point, I was like, you know what? I asked 12 people, 10 people said yes. One security guard said no, which I completely understand. And one couple was very shy in front of the camera. I didn't force it, but I loved the process. And it made me realize, look at the amount of energy that we put into making things complicated, when actually when you do the thing, you're having so much fun that it just goes so fucking fast. Like 10 people, I've asked 10 people, and everybody was just so happy and bubbly and chatty, and they didn't even want to stop, and especially when I interviewed pairs, like a couple or two girls together or two men together, they were just like, yeah, okay, it's my turn to talk now. It was just like, so people love to talk, people love to connect. And when I came home, I was like, dude, see, like, it is that easy. And so that's why I'm thinking again, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. So again, we have this amazing, beautiful chance at life every fucking day that we wake up. And every day, trust me, in my gratitude journal, in my prayers, I'm always like, thank you, God, for giving me another chance. Thank you for waking me up with all the health, with having a strong body, with having a voice, with having my eyes, with having my ears so I can listen, with having my body so I can touch, so I can feel, so I can experience people, things, sensations, emotions, etc., etc. And then we don't do anything with it. Do you know what I mean? And it's not a call to make you absolutely do things and have like FOMO and just like go ballers on everything and nothing. I mean, if that's your thing, just be my guest, you have my blessings, even if you don't need them. But it's just, it just made me realize how much sometimes we prevent ourselves from really just living a life that is so aligned with our values, because we don't dare. That's it for today.